Thank you so much for joining me, and I am back with some more African stories. And today we just have three stories coming from Zambia, South Africa, and Malawi. So our first story is about Zambia. The government of Zambia has evacuated its citizens from the troubled Ethiopia. Yes, President Hakainde Hichilema announced that about 31 Zambian citizens have been successfully evacuated back into Zambia following the announcement by the Ethiopian government that the country was now under state of emergency. Of course, seeing that the rebels were now advancing into the capital city of Addis Ababa. Yes, now following this announcement, we saw again a lot of other countries coming out, giving their citizens warnings and encouraging them to leave Ethiopia as soon as possible. And of course, Zambia becomes the first country in Africa, if not the world, to evacuate its citizens from Ethiopia under the government fund. Yes, being funded by the government. So it is a wonderful thing that is being celebrated by many people, saying President Hakainde Hichilema is once again showing that he is the best president yet to come out of Africa, considering how he puts his people first. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema wrote on his page after during the announcement of citizens have been evacuated. He said, "Fellow Zambians, on my order, we have today safely evacuated our fellow citizens from Ethiopia. We thank the Ethiopian authorities for their cooperation and everyone involved in this operation. We pray that the conflict in Ethiopia is resolved as soon as possible. We call on the African Union and the United Nations to work with the Ethiopian authorities to quickly address the situation. We will remain fully engaged on the matters as a conflict-free Africa is good for everyone. For us, the life of our Zambian citizens matter wherever they are. We will do everything to get them home safely when faced with insecurity. God bless Zambia." So this is what he wrote, when he was announcing about the evacuation of 31 Zambians from Ethiopia. Now, United States again, we saw it also announcing. The U.S. Embassy in Ethiopia announced on its page that, United States citizens should also make immediate plans to leave Ethiopia. And they also said their plans are being put in place also to evacuate U.S. embassy officials. And yes, and they're saying that they don't want to wait until things get bad for them to start evacuating people. Yes, another country again, Israel, they also announced and also making plans to evacuate their embassy officials and their families from Addis Ababa, from Ethiopia. Yes, so this is all we have right now. But of course, still on that Ethiopian story, we saw the government of Ethiopia again coming out to say some of the things that are being said on the news are fake news. The rebels are not advancing as they are, insinuating on the news, and also as the rebels themselves are saying that they're coming to Addis Ababa. But of course, we saw again in the news saying that the rebels saying that, well, we are not going to stop until we take over. Okay, hence the government, immediately announcing state of emergency. This conflict has been there for over almost a year now. Okay, for a year, Ethiopia and the Tigray region, they have been having some very bad, fights in the country, causing a lot of people have been displaced. Some of them, they've lost their lives. A lot of people are in poverty. The place is everything is just really bad for them. And again, we saw again in the news that now the Tigray people, they are being arrested, and United Nations workers, who are believed to be associated with the rebels, are also being arrested. And we saw the Ethiopian government announce that they're only arresting those who are involved directly in the conflict, regardless of which organization that they work for. So for this and more, we will continue to be following on the story, and of course, we're going to be coming to give you more updates on that. Now, moving forward to Malawi. The president of Malawi, Lazarus Chakwera, has come out to say that each and every citizen of Malawi has the responsibility to make sure that the country develops. He says the citizens should not only wait for politicians to do everything for them, okay? President Chakwera said he wakes up every day with his phone full of messages, thousands of messages, even other politicians as well, thousands of messages of people complaining and wanting him, the president, okay, to actually do something about the affairs of what he termed their family affairs, okay? He said, I cannot do all that, by myself. You also need to be involved in the development of your country. He said, we must cure ourselves of the habit of asking more of our politicians than we demand of ourselves. Our country will never develop with that kind of spirit, okay? So he asked the citizen to implement plans at a household level that will, see the plans, the national development plan coming to fruition. So he said, you should also do something, at a household level and not just wait for politicians, okay? He said it won't matter which politician you elect into office and how many times you tell a politician to change if the people do not change. So he said people need to change in order for things to change. You don't have to just wait for us politicians, to do everything for you, okay? While we just cry on us, while we just call on us to do everything, you should also take part. Let me know what you think about these utterances from President of Malawi, that is Lazarus Chakwera. Remember, when President Chakwera was inaugurated as the president, there were huge celebrations even around Africa. A lot of people were saying, well, we are seeing a fresh president coming in. Malawi is now going to be a better country. Even we saw neighboring countries like Zimbabwe, celebrating, the people of Malawi for changing the president, for bringing in someone new, someone. But then again, recently we've seen that in the news, there's not been much of celebration, when it comes to the president of Malawi. Many people complaining about him not fulfilling some of the promises that he made, that he was going to fix this, fix that, but people are yet to see anything being fixed. And of course, we have seen it being criticized for the way he travels around and many other things, okay? But we're saying, well, when he was put into power, there were celebrations and expectations. But when you adopt a country that is already down, sometimes you might make promises that you fail to fulfill on time. And of course, people will come back for accountability because you made the promises. So this is what we are seeing happening in Malawi, right? Anyway, as if trouble is not enough, okay, we are moving again to South Africa. South Africa is troubled. It was the highest hit by COVID-19 in Africa and many other troubles. They're having electricity problems. Yes, they are having electricity problems. Now, on Monday, the country was plunged into level 4 load shedding, okay? And we saw a lot of people complaining there is no electricity, load shedding this. But then we saw President Cyril Ramaphosa coming out to say, well, the issues of electricity are a calamity that has hit the country, okay? He said ESCOM and its issues were one of the main national problems that were keeping him awake at night. He cannot sleep because of those issues because they are just too much for him, okay? To see his country getting into darkness because of problems or at ESCOM is something that is really troubling him. Yes, now we know that South Africa is home to all Africans, okay? South Africa is home to all Africans. So when South Africa is troubled, Africa is really troubled. So we are hoping that things are going to improve when it comes to electricity and many other things. And of course, we're seeing that there's going to be an African Energy Week that is going to be taking place in South Africa, and we hope they're also going to discuss some other ways of finding some solutions to such kind of electric problems by coming out with other sustainable energies that can be used in, in combating these electricity shortages that is hitting everywhere. Alrighty, so these are some of the stories that I have that are coming from our motherland, that is Africa. And until I come back again with more stories, please share our videos, share our channel, subscribe. And my name is Ziki. Until I come back again, stay safe.